Honestly can't believe I waited this long to share the hacks with you guys, but like every other video that I've shared, I really wanted to make sure that I had quality feedback and recommendations to share with you guys. It's going to save you hundreds if not thousands of dollars per year. It is the biggest hack any parent could find, honestly, and it is my number one. I think we waited way too long to figure this one out, and we wasted a lot of money. Their formula was a game changer for us. Last year when we were looking to get a formula, it was actually rated the #1 formula in New York Times. If you're new here, I tried breastfeeding, but I didn't have enough milk supply, so I had to, from day 3, 50-50 breastfeed and formula, which, by the way, if you are on that same boat, don't feel guilty like I did. There's really not much you can do about that. If you have the supply, you have the supply, and if you don't, you don't, and that's okay. Fed is best. A+, we love them. It's going to save you a lot of money. A big hack to get you through all the diapers throughout the years. Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Talita and I'm a first-time mom to my son Caden, who is currently 17 months old. I'm also pregnant with baby boy number 2. We are currently at 26 weeks. He's due in May. So very soon we are getting into the newborn stage. I'm excited and a little bit nervous to be sharing that journey with you guys because I didn't get to with Caden. If you're new here, I have started my YouTube channel a year ago next month. So we are getting close to our 1-year anniversary. So thank you for being here, and I really appreciate your support so much. If you haven't subscribed yet and this is the type of content you enjoy, please do so. It will help me and my channel so much, and it truly keeps me going and tells me that what I am doing and the content I'm providing is providing value to someone out there. This week we are going to talk about some mom hacks that I have learned my first year as a mom. I honestly can't believe I waited this long to share the hacks with you guys. But like every other video that I've shared, I really wanted to make sure that I had quality feedback and recommendations to share with you guys. And if I don't feel like I do, I'm not going to do it just to do it. So this is why we're here now. And before I get started, I just wanted to say that this is not sponsored. Everything that I'm going to mention in this video are things that I really recommend, that I have used or am using on a consistent basis. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with my top hack, which is to get yourself a Costco membership ASAP. If you're a parent, a mom, a dad, if you are a parent, you need a Costco membership. It's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per year. It is the biggest hack any parent could find, honestly, and it is my number one. I think we waited way too long to figure this one out, and we wasted a lot of money throughout the process until we finally discovered all that Costco has to offer when you have a child. So we're going to start out with the number one thing we found by having a Costco membership, which is the Kirkland brand formula. So if you're not familiar with Kirkland, that is a brand from Costco. So anything that you see Kirkland, it's their brand. Their formula was a game changer for us. Before getting the Kirkland brand formula, we tried the Similac Pro Advance, which was highly rated. Enfamil, all the brand products that you probably are familiar with. And Caden just didn't take to those. He didn't take to any of them. We really weren't too crazy about the ingredients in those either. And then we came across the Kirkland formula. Last year, when we were looking to get a formula, it was actually rated the #1 formula in New York Times. So it is not like a cheap formula. I think a lot of people think of Costco as like cheap products, but they do have really high quality products. For example, they carry so many organic products now, more so than I've seen in a lot of the regular supermarkets that we used to go to. But their formula especially was rated #1 by New York Times last year. They come in a 42-ounce bucket or whatever you call it, which that is a lot of formula. If you're gonna buy like formula, the Similac, Pro Advanced, Enfamil, any of those, if you check how much formula comes in those, it normally isn't 42 ounces. And if it is 42 ounces, you're not going to pay $35.99 for it, which is right now, as of today, how much you would pay for the Kirkland ProCare formula at Costco. It worked really well for us. Of course, every baby is different. You have to try it out and see for yourself. But as far as quality, value, all of the above, highly recommend. Biggest hack ever, because you will go through a lot of formula. And we did our first whole year, we went through a lot of formula. If you're new here, I tried breastfeeding, but I didn't have enough milk supply. So I had to, from day 3, 50-50 breastfeed and formula, which, by the way, if you are on that same boat, don't feel guilty like I did. There's really not much you can do about that. If you have the supply, you have the supply. And if you don't, you don't, and that's okay. I am here to tell you my baby's 17 months old today, and he is as healthy as can be. Okay, so it's going to be okay. The formula is not going to, you know, slow down the growth and development of your baby. He or she will be all right, I promise. That is something I just wanted to mention real quick, because that was such a concern of mine being a first-time mom. I just felt really guilty about it, but really looking back, there's really not much you can do. Fed is best. I know a lot of people have said that, but it is true. Fed is best. Another major find that we had at Costco were their diapers. You will shortly find out how expensive diapers are. We're going to be buying a lot of diapers for a long time. We still buy the Kirkland brand diapers to this day. We love them. We've had 0 issues with our diapers. We've tried other diapers before. We really can't tell the difference, to be honest. You get 174 diapers for around $35. You can't beat the price. You will soon find out that having a membership there, you're not going to be able to beat the price. And you are going to get some really good quality products on top of it all. Kirkland diapers, A+, we love them. It's going to save you a lot of money. A big, big, big hack to get you through all the diapers throughout the years. The last hack that's linked to Costco that I need to share with you guys is the organic whole milk that we buy for Kaden now that he's drinking milk. So once we transition from formula to milk, you will also find out, if you haven't already, that organic whole milk is very expensive. Kirkland brand organic milk, they come in a 3 count, so you will pay basically for 3 almost the price you would pay for 1. 3, I think, is about $14.59. Normally, you will find in the supermarket, if you buy 1 organic whole milk, it ranges between like $8 to $12 to $13. So you are saving so much money with milk here. And again, we go through a lot of milk every single day. Now we go through at least 24 ounces of milk per day, if not more. So you can imagine you're going to go through a lot of milk. And if you buy at just a regular store, you're going to spend so much more money. And The quality is the same if you buy the Kirkland brand at Costco. And again, you get a 3 count instead of a 4, instead of a 1 count, and you're paying way less. I still don't understand how they can get away with that, but it's organic and good quality milk. So you're welcome. The first mistake I would say that my husband and I made started at the hospital with the swaddle. I remember I was watching a million videos on how to swaddle a baby. And for some reason, we didn't know that there were such things as swaddles with Velcro on it that basically did everything for you. So you really didn't have to stress about it. And they are just as effective. So this time around, we already have the swaddles with Velcro because, as you can imagine, we bought like 500 of them. But I highly recommend you just skip the step of learning how to swaddle. It's not necessary, and bring your own swaddle to the hospital with Velcro so that if you want to swaddle the baby yourself, you can do so because it's nice and easy. And you can give it to the nurses too so they can use your swaddle and they don't have to go through the whole swaddle process, which, as you will see if you do see them swaddling without the Velcro swaddle, it's a little bit complicated. It's a skill set. To say the least, I think. I never mastered the swaddling without the Velcro, but also you don't have to. So I'll link below the swaddles that we use because we did try various different swaddles until we ended up finding one that we really liked. So hopefully you guys can skip the guessing game there and the stress of trying to learn how to swaddle, and just, that can be one less thing on your list. Next, I swear everyone told me this, and I feel like a lot of people will mention this on videos, but for some reason we don't take it very seriously. So I'm going to mention it on my video, and that is buy all the onesies. And buy the onesies that have zippers and not the buttons, because they are just so much easier to put on and off as you're changing diapers. The zippers are a game changer. You just zip it all the way up and back. You don't need to take the whole outfit out. And the buttons just take forever for you to just click, 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 click. Just zip it up and down, make your life a little bit easier, especially if it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and you're trying to do a diaper change and you're trying to find out where the buttons are. Trust me, you don't want that life. You just need yourself an easy peasy onesie that's going to save you time and stress. And trust me, just get the ones with the zipper. They are going to be life-changing. You can have cute onesies, but just, getting the babies like little jackets and little like, pair of jeans for newborns and even shoes. Like, no, they're not going to wear shoes for a long time. They're not wearing shoes for a long time. The socks are not staying on. Buy the footed onesies. That's it. It's nice and simple. Trust me. Don't complicate things. I think that's when things get wasteful and stressful on everybody because we try to complicate things a little bit too much. A game changer is to buy blackout curtains. You want to think about your baby going to bed with a completely dark room. They like the dark room. They don't want to see light. Dark means night, right? So it will make them sleep longer. So having the blackout curtains will help you create that environment for the babies. I'll link below the one that I use. It's not completely blackout, but it's dark enough where we've never had an issue. So I highly recommend either getting the one that I'll link below that we use, or if you currently have something else in mind, get that. But blackout curtains are a must. My next hack is the 360 sippy cup. I was told about this cup by our pediatrician, and I highly recommend. This came along when we were trying to transition Caden from the bottle to a sippy cup, and we tried the straw, we tried like a bunch of different things, and it just was not working for us. Right now, he still has the bottle, but it's like the sippy nip at the top, I guess it's called, and he takes milk from that, and we're slowly trying to transition him to the actual 360 sippy cup for the milk. But for water, he has been doing really well with the 360 sippy cup. As you will learn, as your child becomes a toddler, they want to throw everything on the floor. That includes their, cups. And so in order for you to kind of avoid like major spills everywhere, I highly recommend the 360 cup. It takes a lot for it to spill. Like it has to be like a huge throw. But all in all, it prevents a lot of spills. Kids tend to like it. I don't know. They just tend to like it. They take well to it. So if you are having a hard time transitioning from the regular bottle to a sippy cup and they're not taking the straw well, then I highly recommend the 360 sippy cup, which I will link down below for you guys too. And lastly, I have books that display real life scenario, like people that look like people doing what people do. A mom cooking or cleaning, or a baby that looks like a baby, instead of like, let's say, a bear cooking a meal for his little baby bear. Things that represent real life tend to be just better for kids' developments. I think we made this mistake initially. We have still to this day, I think, a lot of books that are just not real life books. It's okay for some of them to be like that, but I think in general, when you're buying books, just keep that in mind. Of course, if the books are about like the zoo, for example, we have a great book called Dear Zoo, and of course, there are going to be animals in there, and that's totally fine. But if it's a book talking about, real life things, and you wanted to appear as real as possible because it's really helpful to the child. I'll link below some of our favorite books right now, because I feel like that was also a process, and we have a good amount of books that we're really proud to have found that he absolutely loves, and I think your baby or toddler will love as well. So I'll link those below so you guys can check those out if you're looking for some ideas on some new books to get. A bonus hack, or I guess hacks for you guys, but they do correlate with one another, and that is less is more. Less is more for toddlers and kids in general, with toys specifically and food. I'll explain. With toys, they rather have maybe 3 toys to choose from so that they can work on the one that they want to master, versus 100 toys that will overwhelm them. Even for us, that would be overwhelming. Having so many toys to choose from, it makes you undecisive. You don't know where to go, what to play with. So what they'll do is they'll probably play a minute with all of the toys and make a huge mess, and really not actually play with any toys. What you really want, the goal here, is to have them master that one specific toy and then move on to the next toy. That's the ideal scenario. Of course, it won't always play out that way, but if you set your child up for success, it's easier for them to learn and play with a specific toy and try to master that skill before moving on to the next, versus if you just put all the toys out on the floor and say, okay, have fun. That just doesn't work out for anybody involved, because they will be overwhelmed, they will be bored easily, which is probably the opposite of what you would think, but it's just because they don't know what to do with all of those options. And same with food. They get overwhelmed with a lot of food. Obviously, we want our kids to eat well, so we make all this food, but it may not be what they want to eat. It's easier to just put a little bit at a time. you know, if you want to cook extra in case they want extra, I recommend doing that. That is what I do. So in the morning, I cook 2 eggs because some mornings he'll have 2 eggs. Some mornings he'll have 1 egg, some 1.5. There's no rhyme or reason here. It's just, that's how kids are and that's how we are. Sometimes we're really hungry, sometimes we're not, but they can't speak yet. So I'll make 2 eggs and I will give him 1 egg on his plate and put the other egg aside so that once he's done with the 1 egg, I'll slowly introduce the one that I put aside until he is full, until he's done eating. And that makes it less overwhelming for him and just a better experience overall. And it helps with the throwing the food on the floor, because when they're overwhelmed, they just kind of go like this and food goes everywhere. And not to say that that's still not going to happen, because it will probably still happen, but it will be less chaotic. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys were able to take something away from these hacks. I always enjoy watching them. I think they're super helpful and everyone has a little bit to offer. If you have any hacks yourself, feel free to share them in the description below, in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And again, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, share with a mom friend that needs to hear some hacks today, and I will see you next week.